So we have another signal about this internal battle taking place between the pro and the anti-Trump wings of the Republican Party. And it seems very clear that the pro-Trump wing is hugely winning. Now, in the next segment, I'm going to talk about a poll many of you emailed me about saying, look at this one poll, David. It shows Trump is not winning. We'll get to that. I believe when you look at the totality of the evidence, this is still a very, very Trumpian Republican Party. And what we're going to look at first here is that former Trump Vice President Mike Pence was brutally booed and heckled at the Faith and Freedom Coalition a few days ago by fellow Trumpists, mind you. Now, how wild is it that at this point, Mike Pence, who was simply a plant that Trump could do whatever he wanted to do, Trump could water Pence or not, or weed him, or pull off the flowers. The guy was like an immobile plant in the back of the room, barely sentient during the Trump administration. Pence is now widely seen as not Trumpian enough because he didn't, I guess, try to steal the election on January 6th for Donald Trump via some mechanism that is still not completely clear to me. And now Mike Pence is suffering the brunt of it. His career may be over, or at least dead for several years until he can maybe rehabilitate it. Check out this video of Mike Pence being called a traitor and heckled brutally, mercilessly during his attempted speech, just interruption after interruption.
It is great to be back with so many patriots dedicated to faith and freedom and the road to the majority. And I want to thank my friend Ralph Reed for those overly generous words. I'm deeply humbled by them. Ralph Reed knows me well enough to know the introduction I prefer is a little bit shorter. I'm a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order, and I am honored to stand before you today.
There's talk of Pence 2024, but if the guy can't even get a sentence out about I'm a Christian patriot in front of a right-wing audience without being heckled by that very audience, it's not looking good for Mike Pence for 2024. And understand that he's being called a traitor because he didn't overtly try to violate the Constitution on January 6th. The people who claim to be all about the Constitution are mad at Pence because he didn't find some way around the Constitution to install Trump for a second term he didn't win. He still did Trump's bidding for 4 years. He stood there, he nodded along, he flattered Trump. He said, thanks to Trump, we did this, we did that, even though it was all BS, particularly around the pandemic. And he just didn't openly try to get around the Constitution on January 6th. And now the guy's a traitor that can't get a sentence out. Now, we know what Pence's strategy was. I don't feel bad for Pence. Pence's strategy was bite his tongue, stay quiet, stay on Trump's good side so that then he could try to appropriate Trump's base for himself whenever Trump's done, be it 2024 or whatever the case may be. It all went in the trash with you could say with one act. It's really a non-act. Pence abstained from trying to openly circumvent and destroy the Constitution on January 6th. And Pence is now an enemy to Trumpists, plain and simple. He was a good boy for 3 years, 11 months and 2 weeks. But with just 2 weeks left before the end of the term, he said, sir, I can't steal the election. And now the guy can't get a single sentence out in front of a supposedly friendly audience. It is quite stunning. And I don't feel bad for the guy. It's just amazing how reactionary and rabid that Trump base is. Pence made his bed at as Trump's VP. And he's going to have to sleep in it now, but a stunning series of events. And also, I mean, at this point, what is going on in Pence's mind that he even continues to stand up in front of these crowds, like even religious right-wing crowds, which are, I guess, his bread and butter. These are the same people, some of whom wanted him dead on January 6th. Remember, some of these very people are part of the political movement that was calling for Pence to be hanged. Hang Mike Pence was their chant on January 6th. Why even subject himself to it at this point? I guess at least this crowd wasn't chanting hang Mike Pence at this particular event. But I see Pence's political career as completely dead for a while. Let me know if you disagree. And speaking of the future of people's political careers, Let's talk about that next.